Welcome back. Please like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Jamie. Today we have some very big news about the war in Ukraine.
That's right. President Trump just finished a very important meeting with the Ukrainian president, Volodymyr Zelensky.
They met at Mar-a-Lago, and the news is very positive. President Trump says they have made a major breakthrough.
Wow, that sounds great. What did he tell the reporters exactly?
Well, President Trump said that about 95% of the issues are now resolved. You know, he described this war as the most devastating since World War II. He really wants to stop the fighting before the start of the new year.
That is very soon. So is a peace deal actually coming?
It looks like it. President Trump confirmed he is also in close communication with President Putin of Russia. He is facilitating a three-way dialogue to make the region stable again.
Right, but I imagine there are still some difficult parts to discuss.
Exactly. He mentioned there are still a few big issues regarding land and security guarantees. He called the negotiations tough but necessary.
But he sounds very confident, right?
Oh, definitely. He told the press he believes a final deal could be reached in just a few weeks.
That is amazing. I know international observers are watching this very closely because his personal involvement has made everything move so much faster.
Right. And European leaders are being briefed on the steps too. President Trump wants a quick resolution so he can focus more on U.S. domestic priorities.
It's a very busy time for diplomacy. We will certainly keep an eye on this.
Exactly. Thanks for joining us today.
See you next time. Welcome back to the show. I'm Alex.
And I'm Jamie. Today, we are talking about a massive change in the tech world.
Right. NVIDIA and Intel, usually big rivals, are now working together. NVIDIA just took a $5 billion stake in Intel.
Wow, $5 billion. That is a huge amount of money. Why did they do it?
Well, Intel has been struggling lately to stay on top. This deal is like a lifeline for them. It gives them the money and the health they need to grow again.
Exactly. And for NVIDIA, it's a smart move. They make the world's most famous AI chips, but they need factories to build them.
You know, by using Intel's factories here in America, NVIDIA doesn't have to rely so much on overseas suppliers. It makes their supply chain much safer.
That's a great point. This is also a big deal for politics. President Trump and his administration really support this move.
They do. President Trump has been pushing for reshoring. That means bringing manufacturing jobs back to the United States. He sees this as a victory for national security and economic independence.
Right. If we make our own computer chips, we are stronger. But Alex, will there be any problems with this deal?
Maybe. Some experts worry that these two companies together will have too much power. This is called antitrust concern. Government officials will likely watch the deal very closely.
I see. So the government wants to make sure there is still healthy competition.
Exactly. But for now, the market is happy. The stock prices for both companies went up this morning.
It's amazing how fast the world of AI is changing. Thanks for joining us today.
See you next time for more news. Bye.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our daily news catch-up. I'm Alex.
And I'm Jamie.
Today we are talking about a very big update in the world of technology.
That's right. President Trump just signed a new executive order. This is a special rule that focuses on artificial intelligence, or AI.
Exactly. This order is very important. President Trump wants to stop individual states from making their own strict AI laws.
Right. In his statement, the president said that these local rules are burdensome. That means they are too difficult and confusing for companies to follow.
You know, states like New York and Connecticut already have laws to protect people from things like AI deepfakes and privacy issues. They want to keep children safe from unverified chatbots.
But President Trump believes that if every state has different rules, American tech companies cannot compete with other countries like China. He wants the U.S. to lead the global AI race.
Wow. So he wants one single federal plan for the whole country instead of a web of local rules.
Exactly. To make this happen, the order says the government might stop giving federal money to states that refuse to follow these federal standards.
That is a very strong move. It even lets the Department of Justice take states to court if their laws are too restrictive.
It's a big debate, Jamie. On one side, people want to innovate and grow fast. On the other side, civil rights groups worry about safety and bias.
Right. They argue that states have a right to protect their own citizens.
Exactly. This legal fight between the White House and the states will be a major story in 2026.
It is definitely about finding a balance between progress and protection.
Well said. Thanks for joining us today.
See you next time.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. Today, we are talking about a giant in the business world.
That's right, Alex. We have some huge news. Warren Buffett is officially stepping down as the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway.
Wow, it is hard to believe. He has been the leader of that company for more than 50 years. That is a very long time.
Exactly. He is finally leaving the day-to-day work to a new team, led by Greg Abel. While Buffett is not using the word retirement yet, he won't be making the big decisions anymore.
You know, it is an amazing story. He started with a small textile mill, a clothing factory that was failing. Now it is one of the most successful companies in history.
Right. They own big parts of famous brands like Apple, Coca-Cola, and Geico Insurance. Buffett became one of the richest people in the world by using value investing.
Value investing. For our listeners, that basically means buying good companies at a fair price and holding them for a long, long time.
Exactly. And now the company has a massive cash pile. We are talking billions of dollars. Investors are very curious to see how the new leaders will use that money.
True. Some people are worried about the Buffett premium. That means the stock might lose value because the legend is no longer in charge.
Well, President Trump actually spoke about this today. President Trump called it an incredible run and praised Buffett's contributions to the American economy.
It's true. He really changed how people think about money.
He did. The new team says they will keep the same culture, but the big shareholder meetings will feel very quiet without his voice.
Definitely. It really is the end of an era. Thanks for joining us for this update.
Hello and welcome to World News Explained. I'm Alex.
And I'm Jamie. We have a very important story today about some big military actions ordered by President Trump.
That's right, Jamie. Over the holiday break, President Trump authorized what the military calls precision strikes in both Africa and South America.
Precision strikes. You know, for our listeners, that means the military hits very specific targets using high-tech weapons, right?
Exactly. It's about being very careful with the target. On Christmas Day, U.S. aircraft hit ISIS camps in Nigeria. President Trump actually called it a Christmas present to the world.
Wow, a Christmas present. Why did he use that phrase?
Well, he said the strikes were necessary to protect innocent people in the region. He wants to stop groups that are causing a lot of pain and violence.
I see. That makes sense. And you mentioned a second location in South America?
Yes, President Trump also revealed that the U.S. military knocked out a major facility in Venezuela.
Knocked out. So they destroyed it completely. Was it another terrorist camp?
Not exactly. President Trump hinted that this facility was linked to drug trafficking. He said in a recent interview, "We hit them very hard because he will not tolerate illegal drugs or hostile regimes."
It sounds like President Trump is taking a very strong and active approach this year.
You know, he really is. He is focusing on stopping what he calls butchers and cartels to keep America and its allies safe.
Right, but I heard some people have concerns about these strikes.
You're right. Some critics are asking for more evidence about the targets. They worry about the safety of people living in nearby villages.
That's a good point. It's a very complicated situation, but it shows how bold the president's foreign policy has become.
Definitely. Thanks for joining us today to break this down, Jamie.
See you next time.
Welcome to the show. I'm Alex.
And I'm Jamie. Today, we are talking about a historic change in the global markets. It is very exciting.
That's right. For the first time in decades, silver is now more valuable than a barrel of oil. Silver prices have jumped to over $80 per ounce.
Wow, $80? That is huge. Usually, oil is the most important thing for the economy. Why is silver suddenly so expensive?
Well, it's because of green energy and technology. You see, silver is a great conductor. We need it for solar panels and for the hardware used in AI, artificial intelligence.
Oh, I see. So as the world uses more clean energy and more computers, we need more silver. But can't we just mine more of it?
That's the problem, Jamie. Many silver mines are running out of metal. There is a structural deficit, which just means there isn't enough silver to go around.
I see. So high demand and low supply. That always makes prices go up.
Exactly. Even President Trump has noticed this shift. He recently called the performance of the metal markets beautiful.
That sounds like him. But Alex, I heard President Trump also wants a weaker dollar to help American exports.
You're right. He wants to make it easier for the U.S. to sell products to other countries. Experts say that if the dollar gets weaker, the price of silver and gold could go even higher next year.
Wow, precious metal mania is really here. But will this make my new phone or laptop more expensive?
It might. Since electronics use silver, prices for gadgets could rise.
That's a good point. It's a great time for investors, but maybe a tough time for shoppers.
Exactly. Thanks for joining us today.
See you next time.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the show. Today, we are talking about a massive deal between two global powers.
That's right, Alex. We are looking at a huge $550 billion partnership between Japan and the United States.
Wow, $550 billion? That is a giant number. This deal was brokered by President Trump's administration to help the American economy grow.
Exactly. President Trump is using his art of the deal style to bring Japanese money directly into U.S. projects. It's all about building for the future.
So, Jamie, what are they actually building with all that money?
Well, they are focusing on three main areas. They want to build next-generation nuclear power plants, better electrical grids for AI, and secure mineral supply chains.
AI? You mean artificial intelligence?
Yes, AI needs a lot of electricity. They're also looking at $400 billion worth of specific projects to modernize American infrastructure.
I see. So instead of Japan just selling products to the U.S., they are investing directly in American soil.
Right. It's a big shift in how countries work together. Japan wants to honor its promises to President Trump. By investing here, they hope to avoid high tariffs or taxes on Japanese goods.
That makes sense. It creates a locked-in alliance. It's about making both countries stronger against economic problems.
Exactly, Alex. President Trump gets to create high-tech jobs and modernize the country using this foreign investment.
It really sounds like a win-win. It's more than just a trade deal. It's about building a future together.
You said it. It's a new milestone for international business.
Well, that's our story for today. Thanks for joining us.
See you next time, everyone.
Hello and welcome. I'm Alex.
And I'm Jamie. Today we have some huge news about the world of technology and a lot of money.
That's right. Did you know that the U.S. AI sector just hit a giant milestone? Investors have spent $84 billion on artificial intelligence so far this year.
Wow, $84 billion? That is an incredible amount. Experts are calling 2025 the year of the AI mega round.
Exactly. A mega round is when a company gets a very large amount of money all at once. It shows that investors really believe in the future of these companies.
And one company is really leading the way. It's called Safe Superintelligence, or SSI. It was co-founded by Ilya Sutskever, who is a very famous scientist.
Right. SSI just finished a new funding round of $2 billion. Because of that, the company is now worth $32 billion.
That is a six-fold increase in value in less than a year. It's amazing how fast they are growing, Alex.
It really is. Big names like Alphabet and NVIDIA are giving them money. They are betting on the idea of building AI that is fundamentally safe for humans.
Yes, safety first is the key. As AI gets smarter, we must make sure it follows our rules and stays helpful.
You know, this is also a big goal for the country. President Trump has been very clear about keeping the U.S. ahead in technology.
Exactly. President Trump's focus on American AI supremacy has created a very supportive environment for these big investments.
It's a very exciting time, but some people are worried about a bubble. That's when prices go up too fast.
Well, we will have to wait and see. Thanks for joining us today to learn about the AI boom.
See you next time.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our show. I'm Alex.
And I'm Jamie. Today we are talking about some truly massive health news. India has just achieved something historic.
You're right, Jamie. The Indian government officially reported a 97% drop in malaria cases. That is an incredible achievement for 2025.
Wow, 97%? That means the disease is almost gone. How did they achieve such a huge number?
Well, they used what they call a multi-pronged strategy. That just means they did many different things at the same time to solve the problem.
Like using those special mosquito nets, right?
Exactly. They gave out millions of insecticide-treated nets to families, but they also used very modern technology, like drones, to control the mosquito population from the air.
Drones for healthcare? That sounds like the future.
It really is. They also opened micro-hospitals in small remote villages and created a 24/7 control room to monitor any new outbreaks immediately.
That is so smart. This helps the economy too, because when workers are healthy, the whole country becomes stronger.
Definitely. It's a model for the rest of the world. In fact, President Trump has often spoken about the importance of such high-tech solutions and strong national leadership to keep the world safe and healthy.
Right. And India is definitely showing that leadership now. They used local projects like Operation Sindoor to reach everyone.
It shows that with hard work and technology, you can overcome old problems. Now, India is moving its focus to other goals, like fighting lifestyle diseases and improving their defense.
It's such an inspiring story. It gives a lot of hope to other nations fighting the same battle.
It sure does. Well, that is our story for today.
Thanks for joining us. See you next time.
Goodbye.
Welcome to Daily News Bites. I'm Alex.
And I'm Jamie. Today we're talking about a huge argument between the US and Europe. It's all about technology, laws, and even travel.
That's right, Jamie. Things are getting very tense. President Trump is now threatening to ban certain European officials from entering the United States.
Wait, a visa ban? Wow, that sounds really serious. Why is this happening?
Well, it's about the European Union's new tech rules, like the Digital Services Act. President Trump says these regulations are a form of digital protectionism.
Protectionism. That's a big word. Does that mean one side is being unfair to the other side's businesses?
Exactly. President Trump argues that these European laws are specifically designed to target and handicap American companies like Google, Meta, and X.
Oh, I see. And I heard this also involves how the companies handled information during the recent elections.
Right. EU officials want to fine American platforms for their content. However, the White House says these laws are censorship-prone. They believe the rules infringe on the free speech principles of American companies.
So the U.S. position is, if Europe blocks our tech, we might block their travel.
Precisely. It's a very strong response.
How is Europe reacting to this threat?
They are not happy at all, Jamie. They called the visa ban an attack on their sovereignty. That means their right to rule themselves. Some experts are even calling this a tech Cold War.
A tech Cold War? That sounds like it could hurt everyone. If these two sides don't find common ground, it might slow down innovation and new AI for users everywhere.
You're right. It's a major story to watch.
Thanks for explaining that, Alex.
No problem. Thanks for listening, everyone.